On the Lane.
Gay and lesbian news and interviews.
With Dean Beck.
Made in Melbourne, for Australia and the world.
Matthew Wade is the Victorian journalist for starobserver.com.au. A new edition of Star Observer is out today and available here from Level 9, 225 Bourke Street. Matthew, welcome.
Hi, Dean. How's it going?
Very well, thank you. In the news today, we have seen a new online resource launched to help HIV-positive people who are planning to disclose their status. We were just talking about that with Brent Allen, the Disclosure Project.
Yeah, so it was created by Living Positive Victoria with ACON, the Victorian AIDS Council and the Institute of Many, and it's basically an online resource where people who are HIV positive can upload their stories of disclosure, because Living Positive found that disclosure was one of the hardest things for people living with HIV to deal with, because it's often surrounded by stigma. So by having this online resource, people can visit the site and see how, read other people's experiences and then, I guess, learn from that.
And further in HIV news, Kirby Institute reveals that gay and bisexual men who want to get tested for HIV are more likely to do it when rapid tests are available. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically they did a study of nearly 5,000 men, and overall, men who had rapid HIV tests tested a lot more often than people who only had conventional tests, although they did say that the tests aren't as sensitive as the conventional methods, so they do encourage people to still get tested once a year conventionally, but it just shows that there is an importance there for rapid testing, and it's a very useful tool.
Now, your boss told me that you were at the launch of the Melbourne Fringe Festival last night. How was that?
Yeah, it was great. So it kicked off last night, and it runs for about 2.5 weeks. Plenty of queer content to see, and it should be really great.
Any highlights as you saw it?
There were a couple. There's a cabaret show called Gender Spanner, and it's basically about one woman's kind of, discovery or exploration of her own kind of gender fluidity. So that looks really cool. And there's also another theatre performance called As You Like It, which is basically like about a group of people as they kind of blur the lines between normative sexuality and gender as well. So yeah, they both sound really great, but there's plenty of others on offer as well.
Now, this is an interesting little thing. The Feast Festival was also launched here in Melbourne last night, and Minus 18 are heading over to Adelaide to hold one of their same-sex formals. How wonderful. Yeah,
so Minus 18 have been holding same-sex formals for about 5 years now, but they've always been here. They've always been local. So this year, for the first time, they're going to host one in Adelaide as part of Feast Festival in November, which is, it's really exciting. It's great to see that they're branching out, because, in South Australia, there are obviously a lot less support services for young queer people. So it's great to see that Minus 18 are hosting stuff over there as well now.
Matthew Wade is with us. He's the journalist from Star Observer. And, Matthew, we've got a new Prime Minister, apparently.
Yeah. As I'm sure everybody knows, Malcolm Turnbull is our new Prime Minister. And the reason it's, I guess, important for the LGBT community was because before he became the Prime Minister, he had previously stated that he wanted to support the coalition MPs being granted a free vote. But now, since he's become MP, he's kind of backed on that and gone behind Abbott's original position, which is that he's supporting a plebiscite, a public vote. So,
are we holding that against him, or are we letting him off the hook for that?
I think mixed opinions, to be honest. I mean, I get why he's kind of doing it. As now that he's recently been elected, he doesn't want to kind of rock the boat too much. I mean, it's not necessarily really that negative thing. In saying that, about 70% of people in a recent survey said that they were against the plebiscite vote. So, I mean, we'll see how it pans out. But
I reckon the fact that he's taken the position of PM will be enough for us to let him off the hook for that one, probably.
Yeah, that's very true.
Now, finally, new edition of Star Observer is out today in print.
It is. We've got plenty of great content in this month's magazine. So we've got an interview with our cover stories with Lachlan Beaton, who recently launched Gay That's Okay, which is a support service for young people. And in the piece, he talks about coming out and coming to terms with his sexuality. We've also got an interview with the CEO of Qantas, Alan Joyce, and he's also talking about his experience coming out and his thoughts on marriage equality. And also, we also have a feature by Joy FM's very own Dean Beck. You wrote a piece for this month's edition.
I certainly did. The 10 things that you need to know about ex-gay. And it is an extensive article that I've written from my experience working on the Inside Ex-Gay project, and it was a great privilege to be able to write a story that is so important and see it in print, my first published piece. So very chuffed.
No, it looks great, and the whole magazine this month has some really strong content. So I encourage everyone to go out and check it out. But yeah, your article is brilliant. So yeah, well done.
Thank you very much, Matthew Wade. Thank you for joining us on the line today, and we'll catch you again next week.
No problem. Thank you.
Star Observer is available here at Level 9, 225 Burke Street, here at Joy 94.9. Pick up your copy from your local outlet. I'm Dean Beck. Thank you very much for joining me on the line today. You can follow me on Twitter at Dean Beck on air. And this weekend, if you know the name Greg Fisher, who used to run Satellite Media and Satellite Group, chaired by Karen Phelps, he will be my special guest on Word for Word. Don't miss that at 1 o'clock this Sunday. Till next time, you keep well. Take care. Bye for now.
This Joy program has a podcast and you can subscribe to it at joy.org.au.
Your community. Joy 94.9.